Hello and welcome to my own worst enemy. I'm going to do an impromptu unboxing. This is it's unexpected for me because I normally do my unboxings with the Armchair Dragoons. If you don't know, Armchair Dragoons does a monthly unboxing day where there's every hour or so a new unboxing video appears on the front page. It's really interesting stuff if you haven't checked it out, but normally I contribute to that, but this one came in the mail a couple days ago. This is The War of the Pacific, 1941 through 1945. This is designed by Ernie Copley, I believe his name is. I've been looking forward to this one for a while. There's several Compass games that I've pre-ordered, and I'm trying to remember. I think this is probably my second most anticipated one. I'm really looking forward to the American Revolution war that's coming out by Gilbert Collins. I forget the name of it. So just as I'm excited about it because I can't remember the name. But it's about the American Independence War, Revolutionary War, and I'm really looking forward to that one. But this was second because I love Pacific almost as much as I love the Revolutionary War stuff. So I thought what I would do is not wait a full month or whatever to get this one unboxed. I thought I would unbox it now. Let's just take a look, see what's in here. That'll give you time to start reading rule books and getting the counters ready if I need to and that kind of stuff, because I'm anxious to try this one. This is a follow-up to another game that was published by Compass. It was the War of the European Theater. So I actually, when I ordered this, I also ordered the European Theater because you got to have the whole war experience. So I decided I would get them both. And then after, of course, I get these, I understand there's an expansion for the European version, and I don't know if you need that to play The Whole World is One, or if it's just kind of an extra add-on thing for the European version. So with that said, let's take a quick look. And this is a very heavy box. It's probably 3 inches thick, appears to be full of goodness. Flip it over and let's take a quick look at the complexity. It says 8 out of 10. So they're saying this is a pretty complex game to learn. Like I said, I haven't played the European version. So it's up here, The War, Europe, 1939 to 1945, TWE. Yeah, I haven't played that one, so I don't know how complex this is. Time scale is 3 months per turn. Map scale, 100 miles per hex. So thinking the map's going to be pretty good size, fairly decent size. We are at Fleets and Task Forces, Divisions, Corps, Army, and Air Wings for unit scale, 2 to 4 players. Suitability for solitaire good, and 1 to 30 hours for playing this thing. The suitability for solitaire is rated good, and I'm interested as to how that's going to be handled in this game, because I know there's carrier action included in this, so I'm curious as to how that's going to work, and I'm wondering if there's solitaire rules to handle that. We will find out. Let's dive in and see what we get in here. And right off I see, what in the world is this? These are like cards. There's cards and dice. I don't think this is a card-driven game. Now let's see what we have in here. Interesting packing. They all seem to be sort of not shrink wrapped, but wrapped in this plastic whatever thingy it is, and they're all over the place. They're not in decks. That's kind of unusual, but we can deal with it. So what are we looking at here? What do I think we're looking at? Because I won't really know. It looks like reference cards for something or other. And I'm not even going to try to explain this because, like I said, I don't know anything about this game. Yeah, this is all meaningless to me. I'll explain this when we actually play through it. I was just so excited when I got this. I wanted to open it up with you guys and let you see, as I see, just exactly what's in here. Yeah, no clue as to what these cards are. So that's they're nice cards though. They're the poker-sized cards. They're glossy and they're really sturdy, decent cards. So that's good. This is all just the same stuff. Yeah, no clue. That looks completely new to me. I haven't seen anything like that in a war game that I can remember. And of course, we get dice. We get a D10 and a D6. I don't know if I'll use these because I do have the Pacific and the US dice from previous games that are more thematic. Something else that's wrapped in plastic. Let me slide this off to the side for a second. And there you can see the game design is by Ernest Copley. I think he's Ernie on Board Game Geek. There's some play testers listed there. Let's see if I can open this without tearing it. I think I can. They open pretty easy. And what do we have? Charts and tables, scenarios, examples of play and designer's notes. Gets his own book. I love to see this. I love to see detailed examples of play and designer's notes. That is going to be awesome. And then the rule book, which is very chunky. So let's take a quick look at the rule book first. This is, oh my goodness, this is very, very heavy, thick paper, glossy paper. Well, yes, I say it's glossy. It's the lighting in here is not the best, but it's not as really as glossy as some of the other rule books I've seen. This is an impressive rule book. It's the binding is really, really, really done really well. It seems. I don't know. This was something that would come apart over time or not. I don't think so. I think it's probably a better binding than I've seen. This is the table of contents where we have all of the rules broken out, and it looks like there is a beefy ton of rules. Yes, beefy ton. You can say you heard that here first. Number of players. I'm looking for solo. I don't see it. Actually, let's go back for a second and see if we can see anything about solitaire rules in here. Quickly, and if I take too long, I'll just, here's additional optional rules. Looking, but I don't see anything separate for solitaire play, and I won't waste your time here looking for that any further, but I hope there is something. If not, I will certainly come up with something and share it with you. Sequence of play. I'm just going to flip through this really quick. Wow, look at that. That's a combat odds table. That is pretty detailed. Color pictures. I like the thematic photos here. But this looks like, now they said complexity 8 out of 10. I'm looking at this thinking they are not kidding. This is going to be a read. This is some text. There is a lot of text in here, but I like the way they've done it though. I mean, I love it when they call out the examples and put what they're talking about with the paragraphs, you know, the counters and what they're talking about, the fourth rate air units and what all that means. Kamikazes, all the Pacific Theater stuff is here, it looks like. And I think I was reading that you can actually have like the Doodle Raid and events like that. So, like I said, I love the Pacific War, and this one I've been waiting for a while. National rules, the Soviet Union, Japanese surrender table. Yeah, this is going to be good. Oil and oil factors. So it looks like there's some supply things to deal with. Victory condition, there's the variants, and so quickly, looks like this is just, that's kind of nice. I mean, when you get a game, normally they tell you, take the counter sheets and scan them and save them for the future, and of course, I don't do that. You really should do that. I should try to do that, but you know, with Board Game Geek, it's like somebody's already done it, so that's really kind of why I never do it, but the fact that they put them in the rule book is nice. You can reference that if you ever lose a counter. Fancy. All right, I like the rule book. And now we'll get to that. Examples of play and designer notes. Text looks a little thicker here. Ground movement, air battles, patrol. So it looks like it is all going to be in here. Extend. There's a, yeah, this is going to be nice. Like I said, every game should have a good example of play. And if not, of course, you always go to My Own Worst Enemy because they're typically showing you how to play these things anyway. But I much prefer the example of play. And there's the designer notes. So this is mostly examples of play. And there's a little bit of the designer notes, which looks like it's probably, well, it's longer than I thought. It's probably 4 or 5 pages worth. So that is good. And there's the global war. And like I said, I've got the Europe at war and the Pacific War. I do not have this expansion kit, and I'm kind of curious as to, do I need that to link these two, or is this just an expansion for the Europe, the war? I don't know. Somebody let me know. I'm sure if it's something I need to play the entire war, though, that I'll probably end up getting it. Scenarios. So this is the scenario book, and it goes from the Coral Sea to the full-blown campaign. Nice. There's a lot of scenarios. Guadalcanal, Okinawa, Turning Point. So let's just take a quick look here. We'll look at the Leyte Gulf. It's got your unit setups. charts, and there's like the victory conditions, maybe some special rules. I wonder if there's special rules for the scenarios. Possibly. I see notes, time frames, that kind of thing. So that's nice. And finally, a big book of charts and tables. So normally you'd get a player's aid card, and I don't know if that's in here. Well, yeah, it looks like there might be. But a complete book of tables and player's aids. I'm thinking, yeah, see, rulebook duplicate aid. So it's taking all those charts we saw in the rulebook and pulling them out and putting them into this nice book. This is really nice. I like what they've done with the manuals and print here. This is helpful. Very useful stuff. Yeah, it is. It's just, and this looks like, I'm guessing, annual income worksheet. I'm guessing there's going to be some bookkeeping here. So that's, I didn't expect that. Maybe I should have. So, okay. Interesting. The Chinese are there. And I also I read that that the Chinese are a little bit more involved than in your average Pacific war game. There's actually the Chinese, and you can tell from they're in these charts that the Chinese will have a much larger role to play in this war game than they typically do. All right, so that's cool. I think I am going to be doing some photocopying of production charts or income type things. Let me just reach in here and grab the next item out of the box. There's the terrain effects chart, so that's nice. And at a glance, it looks like it's just your typical terrain effects chart. So that will be appreciated. I don't know if that gets reprinted or repeated on the map. We'll take a look at that. This looks like a production chart. This reminds me of, because it's laid out, what you get at the start and per year what becomes available. Looks a lot like what I've seen in Blitz World and Conflict, which isn't a bad thing. It's actually a nice thing because it's, you know, as the war progresses, your technology increases and more things become available. You can build newer units. So this is the one for Japan. And I'm assuming there's one for the other ones for the other powers in here, but let's see. It's kind of out of order here. I'm going to try to grab everything else but the maps if I can. So it looks like the other production charts are here. So that's Britain. This, I don't know what this is. This is that card matrices, which goes with all of these cards that I had no idea what they do. So this is something I'm completely unfamiliar with. If you've played the previous Europe version of this, you probably know exactly what this is. I have no idea what that may be. I will find out. This is another player's aid card, I believe. Looks like a sequence of play card to me. Actually, it looks like a scenario card. I see scenario 11, scenario 10, an errata sheet. Of course, the errata sheet is printed on this nice paper too, so that's nice. Yeah, these are all scenario cards. So I was saying something about special rules for scenarios. I didn't see them in the scenario rule book or manual, but here they are with these reference cards. Looks like a first rate, third rate. I'm not sure what this is. Looks like maybe it's a quality of troops or something. Here's your game turn track. There's spring, summer, fall, and winter, and the years progress. Some victory tracking stuff, some strategic bombing, and some other information, which we will figure out, hopefully. Like I said, I'm really looking forward to learning this game. I've waited for this one for a while. Naval and air battle card. Huh. Now this kind of has a Starfleet Battles vibe. Or not a Starfleet Battles. What am I thinking? What was the game that had the combat? It was, you lined the fleets up on either side and they could move closer and further away. It was the Federation Space is what I'm trying to think of. Maybe not. Maybe not. Allied powers, colonies and satellites, bases and levels. Oh my goodness. And some other sort of force pool. Looks like for minor countries. Yeah, it is. It's up there if I read. Again, a very Blitz, a World in Conflict vibe for that as well. And like I said, that is not a bad thing because I like that game as well. So let's see. What else? This is just more of the Well, this is a task force card. So this is where you would probably put your counters, assign them to a task force, and track them that way. And there are powers listed in here that are involved in the war. Soviet Union, yeah, so more scenario cards. Looks like this was all just thrown into the box in no particular order. Normally you think the scenario cards would all be together and all these production things would all be together, but they were kind of scattered in here. And then just more of the Player's Aid sequence of play cards. So if you have more than one person playing, then you can hand these out and use them. And this is another naval construction. So it's like you have shipyards where you can build and probably repair your fleets. Cool, cool, cool. And this is global strat moves. I haven't seen anything like this either in a war game. I probably have, but not in this format. I mean, you've got the entire world, and it looks like I'm guessing you're moving units, and I guess you would do it on this map where you'd move counters as they go along. Long range transport and movement. Don't know. That's cool. I say it's cool. I don't know. I haven't played this game. So let's get into, I'm going to get this out of the way because there are 2 maps, it looks like. And let's just start with the first one, because it looks like they are quite large. As I said, 100 miles per hex. You're going to have a big map to represent that. And I'm right. Now, the bad thing about this is it's not going to fill the table for one. And this is only half of it. Oh, my goodness. Let's see if I can do this. One day I'm going to have to invest in a bigger game table. It's not so much getting a bigger game table, it's where do you put it? And that's my problem right now. So here we're looking at Japan and China. There's Indochina, and we should have the Philippines and some islands like Panguam. And you're only looking at, like I said, probably roughly half the map. And then the rest of it, Australia, the outback is down here. And yeah, to get this on a table, it's not going to happen. And it's not going to happen on this table. Could impact when I play this game and get it to the channel. I don't know. I was hoping the maps would be quite this big, but I was wrong, and I doubt there's a vassal module for this. I'd probably have to make one, and that would take some time. A lot of time from what I can tell. So, Compass, if you're listening, let me know if there's a vassal module. If there is, please contact me, and I will do a playthrough of this game for you. Lots of water on this map. So this is the islands. There's Hawaii. It looks like there is. You can go to the Panama Canal. You can go to the west coast of the United States. I'm imagining that this is where this links up to that card we saw with the world strategy moves. And of course, way down here, you've got New Zealand, Fiji, and Tonga, those kinds of things. Yeah, I do have a table that will hold this. Whether I can leave it set up without it getting destroyed by cats, I don't know. And finally, counters. Oh my goodness. All right, well, let's see if I can pop the plastic off the counters. Now this reminds me, I'm comparing this to other games. This reminds me almost of the counters that I received with World in Flames, although not near so many. That is a stack that's probably almost an inch of counter sheets, and they are full counter sheets. So what are we looking at? Well, right off, they look very, very nice. And they're not half inch, I don't think. I think they're 5/8. Let me hold these up to the camera so you can see how beautiful these are. I think you can see that. Yeah, these are awesome counters. It looks like they're going, let's see if we can punch one out. Well, there may be some not problems, but there may be some counter corner clipping required. I don't know. I won't know until I punch them out. Well, let's punch one out. That's what we're here for. I'm trying to show you this. And they fall right out. So that's a positive. Yeah, they're very thick. These are very thick counters, but you can see there's some chuff, whatever that's called, on the corner. So They're very thick. I don't know. I'm gonna have to take a test one and see if I can clip it. But I would certainly be okay with playing this like it is, because I don't think that's not going to bother me as much as those really ugly unclipped counters would look. So slide that to the side. This looks like Soviet counters, I would hope. The backs are all white. Now let's see, this is and I like getting these because I use these for other games. You can print out, on these sticker paper and stick them to this and use them for other games. But this is what I can use to test my counter clipping with, to make sure it's not going to damage the counters. Beautiful counters, like I said. This is like, is that China? It's blue, but it looks like China. Yeah, there is up there, China. So like I said, they are actually, and you can see they've got a full counter sheet as well. They're actually going to have an impact in this game. They are not reduced to high level, they're there and you move a couple of units. It looks like they're actually involved in the game. We have some Japanese markers here, 1 of 3. So there's 1, 2, 3, and there's the ships. That's what I wanted to look at. Now, you can see, I will grab my pointer, there's dummy markers for these ships. And this is where the carrier hunting, the surface fleet hunting, I think is going to come into play. And whether that affects solitaire play, we're going to find out. And if it does, I promise you, I'm going to come up with a way of making it solitaire friendly. The carriers are down here. They are named, so that's neat. Beautiful counters. Can you tell I'm excited about this game? Maybe a little too excited. I even see some German markers down here. German pop markers. That is interesting. And French over here. Then we get to the American counters. There are 3 sheets of these as well, it says. I'm seeing mushroom clouds, so I'm thinking that perhaps the atomic bomb does come into play at the end. Possibly. And again, there's those dummy markers and the carrier fleets. So there's hopefully some searching for carrier task force in this game. There's your minor countries at the bottom. And these are probably all the generic markers. Tropical downpour, heavy rain. So yeah, they said weather definitely mattered. There's battles, there's sieges, and of course the backs are all just blank. So that's the counters. Like I said, there are a lot of these. And that is good. So I think, have I hit rock bottom here? I think I've hit rock bottom. So there you go. Like I said, I just received this. Just got it in the mail. Actually, it came a couple of days ago, but I had to get down to the post office to pick it up because they would not leave it on the doorstep because it was so large. It wasn't just this game, but like I said, there was the War Europe in there, so it was a it was a chunky box that they decided it would be best if we take this back to the post office and make you come pick it up. Anyway, I just want to do a very quick unboxing. I really am excited to get this to the table. That's what prompted this unexpected unboxing. And while I'm learning the rules and doing other things, you can at least look at the components and decide if you like this sort of thing or not. No, but if you do like what I do, please like and subscribe. It'll encourage me to keep doing these videos if I keep getting subscribers and likes. And I will see you back here next time. Thank you.